Oh Christ, nearly fucking fell off then. Hello. I thought I'd film an introduction to this next video. I was going to voice over it, and then we've got the dog today, and getting 5 minutes peace with is impossible because he's a nosy git and he wants to be in everything, as all dogs do. And then he settles down and he sleeps. But yes, so what I did with the water pump was I noticed it was on the last video it was a bit gritty when I was turning the impeller, and upon closer inspection the weep hole was bunged up, I mean properly clogged up, which is no good. It's there for a reason. There's a mechanical seal on the engine side of the pump, and you can still get the seal, and it basically holds the shaft in. You have to like press it in. You can do it with the tappity. Kawasaki obviously recommend 27 different special tools to do it. You can do it yourself. Anyway, I cleared the weep hole and blew some compressed air in it, and then just put a little bit of the old GT85 in there, just a squirtage, and then just started working it around the shaft, and it come good. Basically it loosened up nicely. There should be friction there because that's what the mechanical seal's for, and what the weep hole does is that if you have an issue with like the O-ring in the pump or the mechanical seal itself, it will separate the coolant and oil. It's designed not for it not to mix, basically, if the seal goes. Another common area for the fuel pump to leak is the weep hole, and then you replace the mechanical seal and it all should be good. So what I did with the pumpage is I got the old light abrasive whizzy wheel on it, and where that little auxiliary pipe goes in that I put the new O-ring on, you couldn't actually see it when it was on the bike, but there was a bit of alloy corrosion in there, a bit like what you get in a brake caliper, but it was raised up a little bit. You're probably only talking 1/2 mil, something like that, but obviously that's going to be enough to deform an O-ring. So I cleaned it all up and give it the old whizzy wheel, and did the lot, did all the mating surfaces, redid the surfaces on the little pipe, and then I don't like using it, and I'll say it in the video, but I did use a little bit of RTV silicon sealer just on the end of that pipe, just a little bit, not overkill, and wallowed it in, done it all up, put it all back together, and then I painted it with the old have I got the paint? Well, you've seen the paint before. Oh, the paint somewhere, there it is. I painted it with some cylinder black, which I did the exhaust on the Aprilia with and stuff, and I was quite happy with the finish, and I literally just slap it on with a yard brush. I am, you know, cosmetics, hate it. I really hate doing cosmetics, but I thought I'll give it a coat of paint because it shouldn't be bare metal. It would have been painted silver from the factory, but got no silver, so I painted it black, left it overnight for the paint to cure, and then fitted the pump. What are we now? Well, Wednesday now. I think I fitted the pump Monday, not sure, can't remember the exact timeline. And so this is where we will continue the video. So now over to the shed. Yes. Ooh, yes. As I've previously said, I've just done sort of an eBay rebuild on the water pump. One thing I did notice, the metal pipe under here, this one, it did have some slight bit of corrosion inside, and it's that like hard alloy corrosion, and it was raised in a couple of areas, which may have been enough to just sort of deform the O-ring a little bit. So I gave that a go on the old little whiz wheels and what have you, and let's just get everything back where it should be, and it's fingers crossed. Now, one thing I have done, and you know I don't like using it, is I have put a tiny amount of silicone sealer on the face of the pump. The O-ring looked alright, but you know, if it don't work, we'll get a new one. So I've put some silicone sealer around the face, and I put some silicone sealer around the pipe when I put it in, left it overnight, give it a little go of black there, and now I've just put 2 litres, just shy of 2 litres of coolant in. The whole system holds 2.5 litres, but obviously the expansion tank at the back holds about, it's a good half litre, so that's why I've only put that on. And now I'm going to attempt to start it, and well, see if it leaks. If it does leak, I have found a couple of pumps on eBay. That pipe is also available, still available, brand new. Yeah. But yes, we'll see how we get on. I mean, this is an experiment more than anything. If it works, you know, it's sort of a temporary fix unless it works, and then it's permanent. So we'll see. I will put you down, start the bike up, and well, we'll just see. Well, I've run it up to temperature, and so far no drippage. I've used a gloss black paint, and when I actually looked underneath, I'm not sure whether you'd be able to see it. Probably not. It actually looks like it's wet around where it was leaking last time, but I've just put the old dibby on it, and it's not mopped anything up. I think it's just the effect of wet looking paint. So, me fingers crossed. The only way to tell, of course, is to just run it up to temperature a few times, get the system fully pressurised, and we'll just leave a little bit of paper under it and see what it does. But so far, fingers crossed. I do hope it's fixed, because I want to get this beastie MOT'd. Nice. Strange anomaly, I now have no neutral light, so I'm going to have to take this cover off. I do believe the neutral light lives just about there. I'm pretty sure I plugged everything back in. The only plug is really, it's this, which I think is oil pressure. That could be neutral, but I doubt it, because the neutral switch is never usually on the crank, it's on the gearbox. So that could be oil pressure. And the only other one is the side stand cutout. The side stand cutout does actually work, but it works off the clutch lever, not the side stand cutout, because somebody's mullered it and taped it all up. So yes, I'll have to take this cover off and discover if I haven't plugged anything in. Nice. Or the wires broke. Either way. Proper furry. I'll give that a rubbing with emery and a squirt of electrical contact cleaner, but that is the neutral switch, and it's furred up to buggery. It was probably only working through witchcraft. A bit of a clean up with the whizzy wheel, some electrical contact cleaner, and some welding tip cleaning brushes. Let's see if we've fixed it. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, I've just run it up to temp again, and so far no drips. I may tentatively mark that up as a win. Oh, there we go. So, I don't know, fingers crossed folks, but I might try and get her in for an MOT this week or next, because I would like to start to use it. But yeah, we'll have to see. I'm going to keep my eye on it, because it worried me. because you can't get the pump anymore, you can only get used ones. And then you're gambling with, do you know what mileage the bike was, do you know if it had regular coolant changes, is there any corrosion in it. But I'll keep my eye on it. I'll run it up a few more times and I'll just keep an eye on it. I've also found the proper fairing brackets instead of the homemade fucketry which has been fitted. I don't know. I don't even know how that's fitted. Yeah, but there's some infill panels that go there, and they also contain a grommet for the infill panel. That's just spillage. That's not leakage, so we're all right there. Nice. So shall we wrap that one up there? Yes, I think so.